Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have another palette from an indie brand, or at least I'm assuming they're an indie brand. If they're not indie, they're at least a smaller company. The company is called Meesha Lou Cosmetics. They're a UK-based company, but they do ship worldwide. So I found this company through one of Jen Love's reviews videos, one of her little makeup minutes that she does every single day. I think she just had it on there like a week or two ago talking about this palette or this brand. So I went and checked it out, and I decided just to purchase one of the palettes. They have three. If I like this and it works out, then I'll probably go back and buy one or both of the other palettes because I really liked the fact that they were all themed. You guys know how much I love themed makeup. I'll show you the pictures right here of the other two palettes. So they have three palettes. One of them, the one I purchased, is the Witchcraft palette. Looks like this. There is also the Queen Bee palette, which is a lot of really fun, like warm and golden tones. And then you have the Fawn palette, which personally is the one I'm a bit more drawn to if I'm gonna buy another one, because I really like the kind of silver and neutral look. So, but yeah, so like I said, I bought the Witchcraft palette partially just because the colors were so gorgeous. I was just really drawn to it. So up close, and this is what the inside looks like. There isn't a mirror, but you've got some really gorgeous colors here. And it just says Meesha Lou Cosmetics on the inside. So I will say mine did come with one shadow broken. I don't know if you could tell, but it's such a soft shadow that I was actually able to just press all of it back in with my finger. I don't even think I'm gonna have to do the whole alcohol trick. I might, but I really wanted to just get this video filmed. And I will say, it was packaged incredibly well. This box had 2 layers of like kind of the zigzaggy foam, and it had like a piece of foam that the palette was sunken into. So, I mean, this is coming all the way from the UK. I know, I know sometimes boxes get really knocked around, so I'm really not surprised that one of them broke. I'm actually surprised that only one of them broke. But like I said, it's fixable. All the shadow was pretty much still sitting in it, so I just pressed it back in. All right, so let me do some swatches, and then I think I might go ahead and do 2 looks because I can just see so many different possibilities with this. All right, so these are all the shades right here. Off the bat, I will say that the shimmers and the metallics are absolutely amazing. They were like super creamy and pigmented in one swipe. The mattes, on the other hand, are incredibly sheer. You'll kind of be able to tell in the swatches. In some cases, I think that'll be good just because I can use them as a transition shade, but for like this shade that's a black, I mean, that's about 4 layers of color just to get that tone. So that's a little disappointing if you ask me. So let's go through each one. This first one is White Witch, which is just kind of this really gorgeous white iridescent neon green. It's very beautiful. This one is Pentagram, Spellbook, Potion, Cauldron, Crescent, Wand, Maiden, Dark Magic, Magic, Broom, and Black Witch. So honestly, this shade right here, Wand, this was the one that was broken in my palette that kind of had to smoosh back in, and that was probably the best matte out of all of them in terms of actually being pigmented off of one swipe. All the rest of the mattes took a lot of building to get the colors that you're seeing here. Most of these, like these 3 right here, were about 3 swipes. This is 4, so if that gives you an idea. So let's see how they actually work on the eyes.
All right, so here is the first look. I'm starting out with the shade Potions on a fluffy brush, and I'm just layering this into the crease just to kind of add a nice transition. Next up is the shade Cauldron. I'm using a bit more of a tapered brush just to add a little more depth and darkness into that green shade, and I'm also flaring it out on the outer portion of the eye. Now with a flat, fluffy brush, I'm packing on Black Witch just to add some depth before I layer on Broom, which is this step. That's kind of a shimmery, deep, dark green, and I'm just kind of patting this over the top of that Black Witch color. And then with a clean brush, I'm just blending all of those shades together. Now I'm adding Crescent over the top of the dark shades just to kind of add a little bit more of a bright green. Then with my Tarte Shape Tape, I'm doing a half cut crease. And then I'm filling that in with the shade Magic. Now this shade had a lot of fallout, and I'm basically just patting this on layer by layer. This is a dry brush, so I'm just grabbing some product and patting it on. This color would probably work best with some kind of wax adhesive underneath it to really make the sparkles grip. Now I'm using Broom again on that same flat brush, and I'm just kind of blending the edges together. And then on the inner corner, I'm using White Witch on a dry brush, and I'm kind of bringing that up into the crease. Then with a wet, flat angled brush, I'm using Dark Magic on the outer half of the lower lash line, and then for the inner half, I'm using Maiden. And I kind of overlap them in the center. And with a pencil brush, I'm going underneath all of those colors with Potion just to tie in the green. Now just zipping through some winged liner, mascara, and lashes, and that completes the look. Now moving on to look 2. So for this look, I'm starting out with the shade Spellbook on a fluffy brush, and I'm running this through the crease, keeping it a bit more rounded. Next up, I'm layering the shade Wand over the top of that rounded kind of crease look just to add some depth. And then I'm transitioning to a flat fluffy brush to kind of pat the color on. Now keep in mind this is the shade that I broke, so I'm being extra careful because of any potential fallout. Now I'm layering Pentagram over the top of that shade. I am using a wet brush so that it has extra impact. This kind of just gives it a nice maroon shimmery tone. And this is going to be a halo eye, so I'm just adding it to the inner and outer halves of the eye. Now I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape just to kind of cut out that inner portion of the halo eye, and I'm adding kind of almost a curved T shape at the top. And then I'm filling it in with the shade White Witch. I found that this actually worked best with a dry brush, and it would be better with a thinner brush to kind of fill in that T-shaped. So I am going back in with Pentagram on a thinner brush just to kind of taper in that halo and make it the way that I want it to look. Sometimes you kind of have to adjust a halo eye after you've done it to make sure that it looks proper when you're looking straight on. Now I'm using Pentagram on a wet flat angled brush to line the complete lower lash line, and I'm making this very thick and heavy. Then I'm running Magic underneath that with a pencil brush, kind of layering on top of it, making it really smoked out. Now I'm using Broom on the upper lash line almost as a liner, just so that when I add the lashes, there's a little bit of darkness at the lash line. And then I'm using White Witch again for the inner corner highlight. That's really the only light shade in the palette to use. Then of course finishing off the look with mascara and lashes. And this is the final look.
Alright guys, so this is the finished second look. I really like the way this came out. My original intention was to do something a bit on the lighter side. Mostly I wanted to use this beautiful kind of bright sheer light green, but I wasn't intending for the look to be kind of another dark look, but you know, things happen. I really do like these kind of burgundy tones. They're very beautiful and they worked really nicely. So overall, I like it. So yeah, final thoughts on the palette. Just as I thought from the swatches, the mattes for the most part were very sheer. Now granted, that did allow me to kind of build the tones the way that I wanted to, especially with the green look, so that was kind of nice. So I noticed a lot of fallout from Wand, which was the burgundy shade that was the matte that I broke, and then also from Magic. This one is a little bit chunky. The rest of them weren't too terribly bad for fallout. But yeah, this is kind of the type of palette that you might want to do your eyes first and foundation last, just to be on the safe side. I was able to kind of, for the most part, brush it away and like add a little powder over the top for any part that kind of streaked with like a green or a purple shade. So I do think I am going to go ahead and pick up the Fawn palette because I really do want to try out some of the more natural looks, and they had some really gorgeous tones, and I am really happy with the shadows, so I can't wait to try more from this brand. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of 2 looks 1 palette video. I haven't done one of those in a while, so it was fun to do one again. Don't forget that I've got my giveaway going on. You can check out that video. I have it linked up here. That goes through June 29th, so you have until then to enter, and it's got a bunch of fun indie products as the prize, so you know you can't go wrong with that. But yeah, so don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.